What's up, everybody? Chris and Rob here of the Jersey Comic Crew, and you know what time it is. It's time to react. It's time to review Hawkeye. Episode 4 just dropped. Rob and I are excited. I mean, come on, it's MCU. We're talking Hawkeye. There's huge spoilers ahead, Rob. What do we got today?
So first of all, I am in love with the show. It is fantastic. It feels like one long movie. I'm smitten like a kitten.
Smitten like a schoolboy.
Kitten is the phrase, like a schoolboy. Schoolboys aren't smitten. They just want lunch. They're just slobs.
I think this is your specific schoolboy. I don't think it revolves everyone. I think you were more smitten with lunch than others, sir.
I was. But some of the things we wanted to talk about in this episode, we got to talk about right where they left off. You know, the sword to the neck. Clint talks to Jack, right? They don't know each other. We were wrong about that. But we do learn in this episode that Jack is the CEO of Sloan Ltd, the business. He's secretly running the tracksuits. He's the money launderer for the big guy, as Clint says it. He's cleaning the money, right?
Yeah.
And now they have this weird dysfunctional family meeting. Hawkeye, Kate, Jack, and Eleanor. And like Eleanor makes a call to somebody, says, hey, we're in trouble. Like, something needs to be done. She, like, during this whole conversation, she even talks to Hawkeye, was like, hey, man, my daughter's not a superhero. I need you to drop this mission. And he's like, nah, I can't, and walks away. Which kind of gets us into the main point of this question. Are they working together? Mm-hmm. Are they connected to, we're assuming Jack's connected to Echo, right? Is Eleanor also connected? Or is it just like a red herring where we're made to believe that she has connections to whoever the big guy is, which is the Kingpin. Come on, Daredevil's confirmed. It's the two Kingpin, two Jack, and they're like this high society villains, if you will. Like Kate is like stuck in the middle of it, and she has to break free, and Clint's there like guiding her and gonna like take her throughout the end of this. And there's only 2 episodes left, so it's like, how is this all gonna happen?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And this kind of system of, I call it the pyramid of power.
Ooh.
And it seems like Kingpin is obviously at the top, right? And anything that happens, the whole point of crime in that high society realm, or like the gangster realm of crime, is to make sure nothing gets back to the person in charge. Make sure nothing ties them to anyone who gets caught by the police.
No paper trails. That's why you clean the money. It's all like, oh, it's from this shell corporation to this shell corporation to my pocketbook. And
Sloan Ltd is clearly like this shell money laundering corporation. Yeah. You know, might tie in with Ozark. Who knows? But like,
oh wow,
you have Kingpin. Eleanor makes this call. She also has this, like you said, this weird interaction with Clint where she's like, you know, oh, I'm guessing you have kids. And he doesn't confirm or deny. And then she also says, like, you know, the fact that Natasha Romanoff passed away. She's mentioning all these things that I personally am not sure, and I've been researching this and looking for it, Rob. I haven't found anything that confirms that Nat's death is public knowledge in the world of the MCU outside of the main Avengers, like regular layman's people.
It's kind of hard for me to believe that it's not public knowledge. It's kind of hard for me to believe that they didn't do a ceremony for her, that she lost her life doing this, right?
But she's not Tony Stark, right? Like, it's not Tony and Stark Tech is going to have this whole thing. She was a secret assassin Avenger for S.H.I.E.L.D. and like she died on a different planet. Like, she didn't die on Earth like during the battle of, you know, Earth with Thanos and save the planet. She's just dead. So I don't know. Like, the end of the game is, whether you think or not, we don't know for sure.
We don't have any evidence one way or the other. I can concede to that, yeah.
So, and then the other side of this is Jack, who is kind of nonchalantly like, oh, you're an Avenger. You're Archer, right? And he's doing all these things wrong.
Yeah.
And part of me thinks it's on purpose.
Yeah,
right?
he's playing the role of the fool. So that way it kind of lull them in security. Like, he's dancing with Eleanor and like Kate's like warming up because like
which is very odd.
It's not too odd because when you're a child of trauma and like you see like when your parents are happy for once, you're like, oh, that's nice. This is what normal people feel like. And you try to grasp on any sense of normalcy. So she's like, oh, okay, this mom happy dancing. I haven't seen this since I was a little kid. This is good to see, even though all these red flags, and she kind of like falls into it. And they were just joking before, like, you get every saying wrong. Like, the absence makes the heart grow older, right? Was the line. And she's like, you're so silly and stupid. He's playing the fool to get everybody.
Now my biggest question with Jack after that scene as well is, it seems like, obviously we know now Jack runs Sloan. He's running the tracksuits. Who knows? Echo may report to him before even reporting to Kingpin. Now, in this pyramid of power that I mentioned, You have Kingpin, Eleanor, which seems like Eleanor making that phone call to Kingpin might seem like the first Kingpin knows about any of this now. So now that he's knowledgeable about it, this is going to change big on that side. But my question is, even though Eleanor and Jack seem to both be working for the Kingpin, and they're obviously in a relationship, do they even know that each other are working?
I think if they're both evil, right? My final thought on this.
Evil!
Jack reports to Eleanor. I feel like Eleanor is in a high place of power because the only leg I have to stand on that is because she threw the event that the black market auction was underneath. It's not that like she attended the event. She threw it.
Do you think their marriage is like a business decision? Yeah, it's not necessarily like it's not like, you know, like a J-Lo A-Rod, right? Like it's clearly a business transaction. It's not like real love.
It might be like we've talked about this before, like swordsmen, right? Doing this to kind of like go up in the ranks. I can see it being that, and she just fell for this guy, and he's trying to romance to move up. I can see that being the case. Her alternative, no, I think she's actually smitten by the guy, and she's like, all right, just to make sure you know your place behind closed doors.
But I think she would kill him if she had to. Like, I think it's that where all the underlying stuff, I think in episode 5 is gonna start coming out because this is escalated so high now.
We're talking about like family relationships. We got to talk about the family you choose, essentially like Clint and Kate, Hawkeye and new Hawkeye, right? So they bonded really well in this movie. Like after Kate was like hearing them talk about like doing like board games and movies where her like evil family she doesn't trust, she's like, I gotta do this for him. He's not with his family. She brings beer, pizza dog, and like all these movies,
all the things I would love someone to bring me,
right? Like and hats and like all this Christmas holiday cheer to him. And they have like this cute little montage of all them doing all this Christmas stuff, her making a plan, messing up, put a tree there, all this funny comedy back and forth. He teaches her a little mentorship, right? How to like flick a coin to knock somebody out, like to turn off, which I'm sure we're gonna get later on.
Got it.
And I can't wait. But like it was great to see them bond, right? And just like and just when we get to the height, right, of like them bonding together, having fun, they talked about boomerang arrows, which I know is an Easter egg in the comics. Like that's one of the trick arrows.
Yes.
But when he's like, what was the best shot you ever took? He's like, the one I didn't. Obviously, he's talking about Nat. This whole thing, it's Nat PTSD and like how much it hurts him, which it's so great to see the woes on the heroes, right? And Hawkeye's the perfect character to do this with. And like throughout that conversation, she's like, oh, you're the Ronin, right? Like she figured it out, right?
She's a smart kid, yeah.
Not too hard. Yeah, she's a smart kid and she's a great marksman. But like more of the weight of the emotional from Hawkeye came out in this episode. And you see their bond forging even more through trauma.
Absolutely. And Kate is clearly the more open one out of the two.
Yeah.
But they both need each other to kind of fill this void that's been missing. And Kate's looking for a father figure, right? She's mentioned her dad a couple times. We know she was from episode 1. She was closer with her dad than her mom. That's why she was like, you go up. Of course, you're her favorite. And she was like, my dad was, fearless and blah, 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 which I think we're going to find out like kind of the more seedier stuff her dad was involved in. Maybe the tracksuits. Maybe Kingpin, maybe something like that, and Eleanor took it over. But, she's looking for this father figure in literally her hero that she's had forever. In the beginning of the episode, right? You hear Eleanor in the background talking to Jack like she's idolized him forever. Like, of course this is going to be a thing. And that isn't going away. It's only getting deeper and deeper. And with Clint, his best friend died.
Yeah.
And he saw her die. And in a lot of ways, this show is kind of giving Natasha Romanoff the eulogy she needed and deserves, right? Like in Endgame, when she dies, you're like, oh no. Anyway, right?
You don't even have time to process. I think that's perfect.
Time to process because it's so there's so much going on. Nat didn't get kind of what she needed, right? And it seems like we're getting this eulogy of like, Clint's going through it. He's going through guilt about her death and the PTSD, and we know he fought her to die himself during this. So they kind of need each other. And then again, those shields come up, those walls go up because, she's getting a little too close. She's getting too far in. And he started having fun and liking it. And then was like, I can't do this because he doesn't want Kate to have the same life he does, right? He doesn't want her laid up with, the frozen margaritas taped to his body every day because he's so sore. And
the relationship between him is so good. And like he's like these walls. He's like, I'm a killer. Like I'm a weapon. Like I just have the right people pointing me the right direction. Like trying everything he can to show like the darkness that is down this hero's path, especially for him. But moving on into the darkness, if you will, in the dead of night, they have to break into the apartment to find the Avengers watch, right? So Hawkeye has some strange attachment to it, which we don't really know too much. Their approach to how to get the watch out is so unique to each one of them. Hawkeye's like, you just go in, I can be in and out. And Kate's like, no, I'm going to be a hero. Go with this guy, carry his groceries in, freak him out, and just walk right in.
I'm talking to Avenger right now.
Right? I'm talking to an Avenger right now. He's like, oh, okay, crazy.
He's like, give me back
lady.
my spinach, weirdo.
And then like some stuff you didn't even think about, like, oh, the exit's more important than the entry. Like he can't help but teach her. A mystery person in the hood attacks Hawkeye, and we don't know what's going on. And then Echo is attacking Kate, and then eventually they get into this four-way battle on the rooftops. We don't know. The second I saw that person, I knew it was Yelena, right? The question just becomes like, is Yelena there because Valentina sent her to kill him, or she just says that and now she's just going to investigate? But like, she's very emotional, so I'm assuming like she saw Clint, just went to attack him, right? And doesn't care what's going on. But like the heartbreaking thing to me is that like Clint pushes away again. He's like, no, a Black Widow assassin is after me now. You can't be in this anymore. Get out of here. And she's fighting to be in his life. And it's just like this father-daughter relationship again, just like going back and forth with each other. And we know that they need each other. But it was a great emotional episode for me.
Yelena, I think 100% is just there because Valentina was like, here's some information.
Yeah.
Do with it what you will. You know what I mean? I don't think she was sent by Kingpin. I don't think she was technically sent by Valentina. I think this is her on her own being like, I need to figure out what the hell happened to my sister, why, and this is the guy who knows. Mm-hmm. I think right now she's on a war path. She's on a blood path. She just wants to kill him. I think we're going to see that come to a head very quickly about like, hey, I didn't kill her. I tried to sacrifice myself, and she, that's going to have to come to a head real quick because I think they're going to need Yelena to finish this.
I guess
kind of thing off. There's so many people. If by the end of this you have Kingpin, Madam Mask, the Tracksuits, and Kazi, Echo, and Swordsman, that's 5 people against literally Hawkeye and a half of Kate Bishop because she's really not good with hand-to-hand combat yet.
Here's the follow-up question. With Yelena in here, does it over-clutter the story, right? Is Yelena's story going to interweave with all the plot points seamlessly? Or is it just going to widen the scope even more and we have 2 episodes left? Does it mean that like, oh, in the episode we're going to get more of Jack and Eleanor and their reveals and all that kind of stuff behind the scenes, and this is just going to focus on more of Clint and the Black Widow stuff and his trauma moving forward, and we're not going to get the big coup de grace of like Kate going against her family. Maybe it's Kate and Echo doing all this kind of stuff because there's too much to do with too many characters in 2 episodes, but we know we have another season of another show that deals with a lot of these same similar things. So my question to you, Chris, with your expertise and knowledge, with 2 episodes left, where are they investing their time in to wrap up this mini Max series? Because I don't think this is again season 2.
Yeah, I think the immediate would be one, the reveal of Kingpin, right? Getting him into the MCU, whether that's going to be in the future for an Echo series, a new Disney Plus Daredevil series with the Charlie Cox announcement, or possibly in the movies. We know there's 3 Spider-Man movies behind that too. The other answer is, this is a Hawkeye story, right? He's dealing with this right now. This is a Hawkeye and Kate story. It's to bring Kate into the MCU and to kind of make Hawkeye's story come full circle, where now it seems more like, I think before the show came out, we're like, oh, maybe Clint dies. I think now it's more of the mentorship thing.
Yeah, 100%,
I think it's going to be more
100%.
of mentoring Kate, passing the torch down, because he's not going to be rid of her, right? Like, she's just going to keep coming back. She knows what she wants.
Yeah.
I think with Echo, her series is going to go way more into her development and her origin, maybe how Uncle kind of played a role in her life and kind of changed her thought process, and maybe breaking out of that mold.
Yeah.
And maybe by the end, right, we have that Hawkeye moment that we had with Scarlet Witch, where he gives her the option. The same thing with Echo, right? His last kind of big Avengers moment is giving someone else an opportunity to get out of a bad lifestyle, to make a different choice.
Yeah.
And maybe he gives that to Echo, and that's what sends Echo down a new path in her new series.
And with that, guys, that wraps up our review and reaction of the 4th episode from the Hawkeye series. Partners, huh? Make sure you stay tuned and pay attention. In the next coming days, we're going to have another video all about the watch. Who owns the watch? Why is there a connection? Who knows about it? Who's the owner of the watch? So let us know down in the comments below if you're excited for that episode and what you thought of this one.
And guys, thanks so much for watching. Give us a thumbs up, really helps the channel out a lot. If you're new, subscribe and turn on those notifications. You don't want to miss any more of our conversations. Like Rob said, we got another video on this episode coming out very soon. You do not want to miss it. And if you missed anything, make sure you check it out on the channel right here. And as always, I'm Chris Heller. That's Rob Moran. We are the Jersey Comic Crew, and we will see you next time.